All right, so get started and let's begin by taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you're going to breathe with your diaphragm. So as you breathe in, the belly will expand outwards. And as you breathe out, the belly will go back. The navel will go towards your spine. So breathing in. And as you can see, I'm breathing in pretty fast and pretty forcefully. And then on the out breath, try to be really nice and slow. You may need to purse your lips to slow down the out breath. Breathing in, normal breathing, eyes open or closed, just feeling your body, feeling your seat, feeling the length of your spine, and feeling the crown of your head. Mm. And then eyes open or closed, beginning to roll the shoulders, preparing the body to meditate. If you've been laying down, you may want to sit up for this part if you feel like moving. And as always, listen to your own inner guidance, your own voice, your own inner teacher more than you listen to me. So your inner voice takes precedence. And if you'd like, doing a side of the neck stretch, this wall is in my way, but if it wasn't, I'd be reaching my arm out a little bit farther to the right to give even more of a stretch on this side. And then I like how it feels to kind of just take my hand gently and push my head up. And the other way, feeling that stretch along the side of the neck, down the arm into the hand. And gently pushing your head up. I like to do some more shoulder rolls after the neck. Go backwards or forwards and then switch directions. And then anything else you need to do to feel ready to meditate, whatever stretches you like. Hmm. And then even seeing if your neck and shoulders are a little bit tight or a lot bit tight. Taking your hands and just gently massaging your own body. If that feels good. Then maybe taking your hands, massaging the scalp, maybe even like giving a little pull on your hair if you have hair to pull. And then massaging the face and especially the jaw. Could make some funny faces. Hold so much. I don't know about you, but I hold so much tension in my face, my jaw especially, and maybe the neck muscles. Good. And then, um, mm, yeah, why don't you now? Just debating about which direction to go next. Why don't you get into the position that you want to meditate in? Whether it's sitting on a cushion on the floor, chair, or laying down, your body is hurting today. Maybe it would feel good to lay down and getting really comfortable. I know many teachers are very strict about the way people sit, and there's a time and a place for that, but my preference is to encourage you to be comfortable. And for me, in my body, with a fair amount of chronic pain, I find that if I'm in pain, it's just too hard to concentrate and drop in. So that's why I encourage people to be comfortable. So now, eyes open or closed, see what feels best to you. You can always start with one. I would encourage you not to necessarily, once we get started, to look at the screen, not look at the screen, because if I'm moving and shifting around, that's going to pull your attention outwards rather than the idea, which is to go inward. So if you're going to keep your eyes open, you may want to just, turn the computer or your phone so you can just hear me and then simply look down. So the gaze, your spine is tall if you're sitting, but the gaze is soft and downward. And, if you're having a rough day and actually feeling the connection by looking at me is what you're needing today, then listen to that. There's no right or wrong. So beginning to find some stillness. Let's just do some of that nice, deep diaphragmatic breathing again, where we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Whenever you're ready, going at your own pace. And as you're breathing, notice that the belly expands with the in breath. And on the out breath, the belly is contracting and going towards the spine, but also notice that the shoulders are softening. So there's a subtle movement of the shoulders up when we breathe in, up and out. And then if you really pay attention, there's a softening and a subtle going down of the shoulders, moving downward. Just tune into the movements of the body as you do the diaphragmatic breathing. Notice the movement of the belly and the chest, the back, because it's a 360-degree movement, right? There's the 3D body, shoulder movement. And see if on the out breath, as you're slowly letting the breath out, if you can notice the subtle softening of the body and almost like lean into it. So you're letting yourself lean into the softening. Noticing that probably already the mind is wandering. And we're going to do something else to help you become even more present in the body. I find toning or making sound vibration with the body to be, for me at least, a quick way to drop in. Last week we did the humming, the bee breath. And to do that, you're going to simply breathe in through your nose and you're breathing out through your nose. And at the same time that you're breathing out, you're vibrating your vocal cords. So it's a hum sound that's coming out and through the nose. And the idea is to tune into the feeling of the vibration in your face as the hum comes from the throat and out the nose. And explained it last time, but this actually releases nitric oxide into the bloodstream, which is kind of like the laughing gas, nitrous, that you would maybe use at the dentist office. So it can have a very quick, soothing effect on the nervous system. We're going to stay with the diaphragmatic breathing, breathing in deeply through the nose and humming on the exhale. And just go at your own pace. And if you're in a space where you can't make sound, just breathe normally and imagine the hum in your face and in your throat as you breathe out. Mm. So the sound is coming from my throat, but it's vibrating the back of my nose and the rest of my nose. Mm. Mm. Keep going. You might feel the vibration in your cheeks, your sinuses, up into your forehead. Just notice where you feel the vibration. If you're able to do it louder, you'll feel it more fully. Mm. 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 Pausing and noticing. And now tuning into the sensations of breath. Maybe today you can watch your breath most easily or pay attention to the sensation at the nose, maybe at the tip of the nose where you can feel the cool air coming in, the warmer air going out. Maybe your breath is most apparent at the back of your throat, where you can feel it passing by the back of your throat. Maybe you can feel the expansion of your chest, of your ribs, of your lungs, in the front and the sides and the back of your body as your lungs expand and fill with air. And then as they deflate and the chest softens, shoulders soften. Or maybe you want to watch your belly expanding and softening, picking a spot, whether you're sitting or lying down. Be aware of your breath, sensations of breathing. The object of focus, concentration, is the breath. It doesn't mean that we don't allow other things into our awareness, because that's just going to happen. So notice as other body sensations come into your awareness. And see if you can maintain awareness of the breath while the mind also is noticing, oh, my feet are cold, feeling the cold feet. My hands are cold. I'm noticing my breath while I'm also aware of the temperature of my hands. If a sensation in the body is really quite strong, maybe a pleasant sensation or an unpleasant sensation, it may be too hard to maintain your focus on the breath. In that case, it's perfectly fine to direct all your awareness to the sensation in the body. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll imagine that I can follow my breath all the way from my nostrils and say, right now I'm noticing the tightness of my pelvic muscles, kind of aware of the crease of of my legs. Oh, I might imagine breathing in through the nose and then following the pathway of my breath, imagining that I can breathe all the way into my pelvis. Sort of connect the breath with the part of the body where you're noticing sensation. So breathe into the part of the body where there's a strong sensation or where there's, your awareness is being pulled. And then breathe out from that part of the body. Let's try that for a little while. Staying with your breath, sensations of breath. And then if a sensation in the body pulls your attention, pulls your awareness, allow your awareness to go there and breathe with that part of the body. When you notice that your awareness is not on body sensations, because that's what we're using as our object of focus right now. So the mind will wander, of course, to thinking, judging, planning. Mm, not a problem. Just gently notice. Oh, I'm not on sensation anymore. I'm not paying attention to my body anymore. Just notice it and then come back to the next breath. So just begin again. And the mind on some days will wander hundreds, thousands of times in a sit. And you can just notice you're judging that, if you're getting frustrated with yourself, and just see if you can normalize it by really knowing that there are just some days, for some of us, a lot of days, where my mind is just really active and busy. So rather than saying I'm not doing it right or something like that, just sort of accepting that this is what the mind does. This is the nature of mind. It wanders. And we can strengthen concentration by practicing it. And the less we get disturbed by the fact that the mind does wander, the easier it becomes. The mind wanders. Oh, there I go again. Back to the breath, back to the body. What am I noticing now? What's it like to be in this body, in this moment, just right now? Always right now. Mind wants to go into the past, go into the future, and the breath is just right now. That's why it's a handy tool. Can't lose it. It's always here. Now expanding your awareness to the emotional layer of your being. Maybe since the beginning, it's been really obvious that you're sad or angry or happy. maybe your emotions today are more layered or complex than that. I'm not suggesting you dive into an analysis of your emotions. I'm just suggesting that you begin to get curious about what's here today, just naturally. You don't have to create anything. Get curious about what you're noticing in the body. Sometimes emotions have strong body sensations attached to them. So noticing, and perhaps you're feeling angry about something, or noticing the body signature of anger, really watching and noticing and getting curious. So rare that we pause during anger. So noticing, what is it like to be angry? Usually we want to do something when we're angry. Noticing what happiness feels like, sadness, whatever's here right now. And like I said, it may not just be one thing. We're complex human beings, and oftentimes there are many different layers of emotion. So seeing if you can just like with the body, seeing if you can breathe with the emotion, breathe with the body sensations that might be attached to emotions, watching them change because everything's always changing. So let's sit with this awareness of breath, of body, and of emotions. And just like with the body, if there's a strong sensation, perhaps attached to an emotion, imagining that you can breathe into that space in the body. So, like, for example, sadness or grief often has an actual feeling of ache in the heart. Imagining that you can breathe the breath into the heart, imagining the breath giving space, giving more room to the ache, and then breathing out. If a sensation or an emotion is particularly strong or difficult, sometimes I'll imagine that I can breathe into it, giving it so much space that it doesn't even need to be contained in my body. The edges of it can expand beyond my body. So it doesn't have to feel small or trapped inside my body. Let's practice in this way together, inviting present moment awareness of the body, of the breath, and of emotions. Noticing when the mind wanders and bringing it back to this moment, this breath, the awareness of everything that's moving through your body and your emotional field in this moment, breathing with it. Coming back again and again to this breath, this moment. What are you noticing right now? Breathe with it. Then expanding your awareness once more to the layer of mind, noticing what is my mind going to today. So maybe there's a repetitive story, or maybe there's planning, or maybe it's something different in each moment. And the mind can get tricky because it really likes to go into the future and the past. It's often not in the present moment. And so, one thing that can help with the mind, and this can be even a substitute for the breath, or it can be added to your awareness of the breath. You can repeat a 2 syllable mantra. So, see how it feels when you breathe in to hear or inwardly say the word so, S-O, so. You might notice that breathing in through your nose, it sounds a little bit like so. And then on the out breath, hear or inwardly say the word hum. Notice if you can hear the word hum in the out breath. You might not. Okay. There's no right or wrong. So hear, imagine, or inwardly say the word so on the in breath and hum on the out breath. So none of this is audible. Not, you're not speaking any of these words. And this can be a way to increase the mind's mm, presence. So to sort of entice the mind into the present moment, into the breath. Kind of like how we breathed into the emotions in the body. I see a mantra as a way of breathing into the mind. So let's practice together in this way. And you can use the mantra so hum if you wish, or you can stick with the breath by itself. Hmm. To bring completion to our meditation today, I'd invite you to join me in 3 ohms. And if you don't want to say Om out loud, you can just imagine it vibrating through your body. And if you're saying it out loud, feel the vibration in your body. So, in a moment, we'll breathe in together. And then on the exhale, we will each vibrate the word Om, either through the vocal cords or through the imagination. Breathing in. Om. Notice the vibration. Breathing in. May the fruits of our practice today spread outwards in all directions and help to end the suffering of all beings everywhere. Mm. Bow to each one of you. Thank you for sitting, co-creating this energetic of compassion and care for ourselves by meeting ourselves exactly where we are in this moment. Then we can meet everybody we come into contact with more presence, presence and with more authenticity, vulnerability, care.